Ever since Man of Steel hit cinemas, it has been compared to Christopher Reeve's Superman, which for me is one of the biggest mistakes viewers did when watching this film. The director of Man of Steel, Zack Snyder, had this to say about his Superman story on Comic Book Debate. To me, grounding Superman into our world rather than us going into his was the way I thought about it. It's not just about the physical reality of what you're capable of, but also about your spiritual place in the world and how you fit into it. Therefore, we cannot compare the Richard Donner's Superman story to Snyder's, as they are set in completely different times and are facing different battles. The best way to watch this film is to think that there has never been a Superman story before. That is how I watch it and how I will review the film. Now that has been cleared up, let's get on with the review. In 2013, Man of Steel was released worldwide in cinemas, bringing in almost $700 million worldwide at the box office. From director Zack Snyder and a cast including Russell Crowe, Diane Lane and Henry Cavill, comes a modern take on Superman. The first 20 minutes of Man of Steel is entirely set on Krypton. We open with the birth of Kal-El, with Hans Zimmer's beautiful score in the background. We see the fall of Krypton with the conflict between Jor-El, Kal's father, and General Zod, whose only goal is to ensure the survival of his race, and he will stop at nothing to achieve it. The Codex, which is an ancient Kryptonian artifact that holds the genetic makeup of the artificially incubated babies on Krypton, is sought after by Zod. Aware of this, Jor-El finds the Codex and plants it into Kal-El's cells, for Krypton to live again on another planet. What I love about these first 20 minutes are the incredible fight scenes, the actual aesthetic of Krypton, the story it sets up, and Hans Zimmer's score. It gets the audience prepared for what is to come. One thing that stands out in Man of Steel are the action sequences, which we see as soon as we are on Earth with the oil rig scene, establishing the power of now named Clark Kent. The CGI in this scene and throughout the movie are faultless, and this film came out 8 years ago. For me, Zack Snyder really nailed the story of Clark Kent and his struggles as a child. As the modern day Clark, played by Henry Cavill, goes through life, we see flashbacks to when he was growing up and his struggles with not only fitting in, but also understanding and controlling his powers. It's something that I really feel allows me to connect to Clark and feel sympathy towards him as he is growing up, while still establishing where the modern day Clark is. One of the most controversial scenes of the entire movie is when Jonathan Kent stops Clark from saving him from the tornado. In the comics and previous films about Superman, Jonathan Kent has always died from a heart attack, something Clark couldn't stop.
Those things I can do. All those powers. And I couldn't even save him.
But what I like about Man of Steel's Jonathan Kent scene is that it teaches Clark a different lesson. The world isn't ready for a Superman, which fits perfectly into the world Zack Snyder had created.
I let my father die because I trusted him. Because he was convinced that I had to wait. That the world was not ready.
This isn't just said by Jonathan Kent either. Perry White also emphasises that the world isn't ready.
Can you imagine how people on this planet would react if they knew there was someone like this out there?
Amy Adams was fantastic as Lois Lane, who you could see was an established and successful reporter with a strong attitude. Lois's first encounter with Clark built the trust and understanding between the two characters, which I felt was very believable from both of them. One of the best scenes from Man of Steel is when Clark learns to fly. Yet again, Hans Zimmer turns the scene from a great scene into an amazing scene. Jor-El's speech shows the contrast between Jonathan Kent's ideology and his own. Jor-El doesn't know what Earth is like and the society that is established there, so he encourages Clark to become Superman.
You will give the people of Earth an ideal to strive towards. They will race behind you. They will stumble. They will fall. But in time, they will join you in the sun, Cal.
It also has some foreshadowing behind it. The people of Earth did stumble and they did fall, which we saw in Batman v Superman. But they will join him in the sun, which we will see in March 2021 in Zack Snyder's Justice League. General Zod's entrance to Earth is how I think the world would react to aliens interacting with humanity. Not only would it be terrifying, but it would also be reported worldwide non-stop, with speculation from almost everyone. Clark and Lois's chemistry is built upon in the interrogation room, where they talk about Clark's suit.
It's not an S. On my world, it means hope.
Well, here it's an S.
And then what Clark says to Lois as they are waiting for the ship to arrive.
Thank you
For what?
for believing in me.
Didn't make much difference in the end.
It did to me.
Lois isn't just used as a love interest either. She actually becomes a key part to saving the world as she finds out from Jor-El how to defeat Zod, with also shooting some Kryptonians along the way. My favourite scene is Superman's first fight against Zod.
You think you can threaten my mother?
The anger Cal feels towards Zod for threatening his mother is so strong, which not only is relatable, but also hints towards the nightmare future, where Zack Snyder hinted at in Batman v Superman. This is the scene where an evil Superman is in charge of the world after the death of Lois Lane. I love the raw power Kal-El possesses, but hasn't quite worked out how to control yet. That is why there is so much destruction. It's also understandable for the built-up anger he has, as he's always been bullied and never fought back, until now. The Smallville scene was another spectacular fight sequence. I loved the scale of the fight. Being a small town with these titans fighting just made this scene so entertaining. Seeing Faora Al almost mock Clark showed how much more confident she is with her fighting skills than Clark is. We need to remember that this is literally his first ever fight, and she was a part of Krypton's army, so even though Superman is stronger than her, she can use her fighting knowledge to her advantage. But, in the end, Superman won because of his raw strength as he exposed her to Earth's atmosphere. You can see how much Clark and Martha mean to one another throughout the film. Diane Lane was perfect for the role as Martha Kent, and the mother and son relationship between her and Clark is so believable. One of the most powerful moments of the film is when Superman is trying to destroy the change engine. The rising score, the amazing visuals, and the pure strength in that scene is amazing. Also, can anyone else see Christopher Reeve in this scene? Apparently, it was purely coincidental that Henry Cavill looked like Reeves here, but I can really see it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. The high levels of destruction in the final battle was also highly controversial. But when you have basically two gods fighting one another, it is really the only thing that would be believable in a fight for me. Superman was an inexperienced fighter and was very much learning as he goes along. It also allows there to be repercussions in the next film, meaning not everything is back to normal by Batman v Superman. There are still problems that have to be solved from previous events. I think Zack Snyder did an amazing job with Man of Steel. The direction for this film was great. I loved the visuals and the unique fight sequences, and I don't think there is a superhero origin story just like this one. The music from Hans Zimmer and Junkie XL, for me, is the best score of all time. What are you going to do when you're not saving the world is my favourite part of the score, and it's such a shame that it's mainly used for the end credits. I think for me, Henry Cavill is probably the best Superman out of them all, and his acting in this film was superb. Not only does he look like Superman, but he also sounds like him too, with a really good American accent. Amy Adams did a great job as Lois Lane, and I thought her chemistry with Henry Cavill was really strong. But Michael Shannon was a fantastic General Zod, who for me is my favourite DC villain in the DC Extended Universe so far. Overall, I think this film for me is the best superhero film of all time, as Superman is my favourite superhero, and I loved the film's story. If you didn't like the film, that is completely fine. That's your opinion, and that's great. I respect yours, and so I hope you would respect mine. Let me know what you thought of Man of Steel in the comments below. But that is all for today. Please make sure to like and subscribe and turn on post notifications so you never miss a video. But until then, bye bye.